Hello and welcome back to Here We Tow. Today I'm at the Elddis launch for the 2026 season, and in this video we're going to be taking a closer look at the new motorhome range for 2026. There are a few changes, so we'll go around those together and find out more about the new range, the layouts, the colours and the styling. So bear with me while I try and go through it all and explain it best I can from my first look here today. So the new entry-level motorhome from Elddis is the Whirlwind GT. Now many of you may well be familiar with the name Whirlwind from when Elddis first started their caravan, so they're bringing back the Whirlwind name, and they've also got the Whirlwind on their caravan range as well. So the entry-level Whirlwind GT, there's going to be 9 layouts altogether, ranging from 2 to 6 berths. Now in the range you have a choice of the 3.5 tonne, or they do have a top end one at 3,650 kilos, but otherwise all the range is 3.5 tonne. Now prices are going to start at £60,000. There's also going to be the option to add a pack. This one here has the pack fitted. It's the Evolve pack, and this is going to be an additional £3,500. So depending on the layout and model you choose, prices will start at 60 but then go upwards, and if you want to add the extra pack, it's 3.5. So let's find out a bit more about it and I'll explain some of these extras. So on the standard Whirlwind GT, the one we're going to look at here is the 196 Plus. You'll know if it's the 3650 gross vehicle weight, it'll have the Plus. The 196 is also available as a 3.5 tonne as well. Now today these ones are on the Fiat Ducato, however in production they will be based on the Peugeot with 140 horsepower. The cab will come standard in the white paint finish. Here we can see it in the grey metallic. I believe this will be just over £700 as an optional extra if you want this colour. So let's start up here. Now, new for 2026, so we have the nice large sunroof that we can see here, similar to the Avalon, which we're going to look at soon, that was launched earlier this year. The Elddis name, as I say, this one here in the grey metallic. Now, although it's going to be on Peugeot, the front is going to look identical. You'll still have the vents like this, the Elddis badge, so there's no great changes there. You'll also see the spotlights as well. Let's make our way down the near side. So on the near side, what I do like as well, this is not an overly wide motorhome. You can see here it's more flush to the body, and the wing mirrors are not the wide extended wing mirrors, they're more compact. So this is going to be a much more agile motorhome. Lengths and widths obviously will vary depending on model, particularly so length, maybe more so than the width. Coming down, let's have a look at the graphics or the decals for 2026. So we can see here Whirlwind GT, we've got the well-known Elddis red and then the grey colours as well integrated into that decal. This one, as I said, has the Evolve pack. In the Evolve pack you will get the wind out awning, you'll get a solar panel, an external gas barbecue point, an alarm, a tracker, a winter pack. There's quite a few bits in it, so for £3,500 I think that's a good pack to put on personally. Let's venture around and take a look at the rear, because obviously externally all the different models are going to vary, but let's take a look at the back end so we get an idea. So you are going to get the rear view camera, Elddis Whirlwind GT, pre-installation for the bike rack if you want, and then the retro dials. Now you may remember in February when I did the Avalon, we saw these for the first time. So these have come across the Elddis motorhome range. Right, venturing down, so on the off side we can see, depending on the model you get, you've got your water point. I don't know the size of the water tanks at the moment, unfortunately, and we can see the graphics here without the door breaking that up for us. I do personally like this grey cab. For me, I'd be opting for that. Yes, it is a little bit more. Right, let's go and take a look at the fabrics and the layout of the 196. As I say, it's the Plus simply because it's heavier. So this one is the family layout. We'll have a look as we go round at the other layouts. The Fiat cab, it will be Peugeot. There's manual as standard on this one, and we can see the fabrics for the new season. This one's also got the drop-down bed. This will be a 6-berth motorhome, so plenty going on here. We can see the fabric scheme, and then as we come through we can see the lighter colours. So for 2026 this light colour finish, because sometimes darker wood can feel a little bit more hemmed in. They are nice and flat here, so not coming out into our headroom space. And here we have some scatter cushions, so we can have a look at the patterns there for the new season. And then the dark grey fabric. Right, I'm not going to go through all the bits and bobs on the motorhome because there's a few to do, and that'll come when I do a proper review of them. So if I venture out, we'll have a look at our next model. Now this one is a Whirlwind GT as well. We'll come back to that one because there's just somebody in there. So let's go on to the next one. This is the Autoquest Apex. So after Whirlwind GT, we're going to take a step up to Autoquest Apex. Now on this here, we can see the grey cab as well on this one. As standard at the price point on here, which I believe is around £72,000 and upwards, you're going to get the wind out awning and the extras that we were getting before in our pack. On this one, there are 8 layouts available. One of those is the Plus. So on one of those, you can have the 3650. Otherwise, they're going to be the 3.5 tonne models and weights. So on the Autoquest Apex, we can see our graphics or decals for the 2026 season. So this is more of a lighter grey on this one. And if we venture around the back, you'll see we've got a garage here. On the back, we've got the retro lights again. No window in this one because of the layout. It just gives you an idea of how the back will look. We can see that rear view camera and the Autoquest Apex name. Coming down on the off side, again, we can take a look at this side and the graphic here for this new season. Right, let's go inside and have a look at the colour scheme on this one. As I say, this model is the 194, and this is a little bit different. So if you are the sort of person that prefers a European style motorhome as opposed to a UK style motorhome, you are going to get the garage and you are going to get longitudinal beds, but we'll find out more when we go in. So this may have a more European feel than a UK one. Right, coming in. Now this is nice. So in here we have the Fiat and we have the automatic fitted on this one. The furnishings are darker here. We can see the Autoquest Apex, captain's chairs, and then the fabrics here. You are going to get a really good sized bench seat here, which is quite important when you do want to relax, and then a smaller one there. This is going to convert into a double bed. So this is a 4-berth motorhome. And what I do like as well is the darker contrast on the curtains. There's the lighter grey, the darker colour. It's almost a charcoal colour, we can see there. And there's another scatter cushion that I'm just going to show you here. You can see the style on that. So that's the 2026 colour. And on here, you've got this sort of almost faux leather effect and then the fabric. So we have gone up a level for that higher price point. The cupboards got this light colour finish again, and that complements the lighter wood colour scheme. Now back here, I'll let you go and have a look there. The kitchens, they're all well equipped. You'll get the gas burner, hob and grill and the microwave. And back there on this model, it's the longitudinal beds. And this is quite unusual for Elddis. They normally stick to a more traditional caravan style layout, but they're delivering here with the longitudinal single beds. I'll just open the bathroom door and I'll take you into the bathroom so you can have a look at a bathroom to give you an idea. So this one is the all-in-one. Now you'll see you will get a lighter wood cabinet, Thetford swivel toilet, and then with it being all-in-one, there is the plug hole in the flooring, got a little Apex carpet there when you're not using the shower, the fruit bowl sink or basin, and then a mirror. And look, it's me holding the camera, and then the shower. Right, I'll hand you back to the professional. Here comes Jules. So that is the front of the Apex, the Autoquest Apex. Right, now then, let's dive along. I don't know whether I can get back into the other GT model. However, we did see the first one, so we've got an idea of colour scheme. So what we'll do is move on to Avalon. Now, Avalon is the top of the Elddis Motorhome range. I'm not including Buccaneer in this because Buccaneer is sort of brand on its own as far as the group are concerned. So in the Elddis Motorhomes, this Avalon is a top of the range. There are 4 models available. I did do a first look at the NEC. I'll put a link down there to that. This is based on the Fiat, and as you can see on this one, it's the black cab, the front styling. With the Avalon, the decals continuing for the 2026 season, the silver, more of a slight yellow colour, the Avalon name badge, and the graphic continues down. We see on this one the Dometic wind out awning. Now round at the back, this is where these retro lights started earlier this year, and you can see those there. And on this model again, we've got the window at the back because of the layout and the rear view camera. Right, let's go in and take a look. Now, these are 3.5 tonne motorhomes. They're all, as far as I know, 7 metres and 37 centimetres in length. Now, some of the models have fixed beds. This one actually has a rear lounge, which was quite different, but we'll come to that in a minute. So at the front, we can see the cab and the colour of the captain's chairs. I don't know whether you can just see around there. They have the quilted finish. You'll see that they haven't got Avalon embossed on these ones. I'd quite like to see that myself, but it's not on there. But what we do get is the huge sunroof, and this literally runs the whole frontage of the motorhome. Then as we move through, it's the light colour wood. Yes, you'll get the microwave, and the light colour continues through the kitchen. It's really light and bright, and I said that I think when I first looked at it. Really well equipped kitchen and a flap as well for additional worktop space. Depending on the layout will depend on obviously what you are going to get. In this one we have a tower Dometic fridge and freezer here on the off side, and as I say, this one is the rear lounge. So heading back into the lounge, I'll go through this way. If you don't want a fixed bed, a rear lounge is excellent because it does give you this brilliant relaxation space. Colour scheme here for Avalon on the cushions, and you get a number of different patterned ones there, as you can see. This is a blue and gold, and this is gold and gold. It complements nicely with this brown finish here, and then the quilted fabric as well. It's a nice layout at the back, I must say. The windows, like lots of lighting. If you're on a good pitch, like a sea view pitch, you've got a fabulous view. I mean, you can see that here today. We're actually looking out on the golf course, so it does give you a good idea of what you're going to get. The only downside is because it hasn't got a fixed bed and it's not got an electric drop-down bed, you will have to make this bed up on an evening. But for couples, I think this is a really nice layout. Right, let's venture out. Lovely. So out we go. I'll let Jules be careful as he goes. Don't want any accidents, slips, trips or falls, do we? There we go. So there we have it. That's the Avalon. As I say, there's 4 different layouts available on Avalon. Then the next step down, we have the Autoquest Apex. So price-wise on Avalon, about £82,500 for 2026. This range starting around 72, 73 for 2026. Then we have the Whirlwind GT. You've got 2 choices. You can either have it as the version here, which is the Evolve, which has got the £3,500 pack on it additionally, or you can have the actual entry level, and prices on these starting at around £60,000 for the smallest 2 berth. Right, that is a first look around to give you an idea of colour scheme, appearance, and how you're going to, well, how they're going to come basically, based on Peugeot, based on Fiat. Hope you enjoyed a first look. What I will do is I will get out as soon as I can and do some proper detailed reviews so we can find out the full facts and figures of these motorhomes. I'll put all the links down here as usual so you can have a look. Hopefully the Elddis website will be updated and you can work out for yourself which model might be more suitable for you. So as always, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.